All right, I haven't done one in a while. Let's do one about data tags. Um, so, I here's how I came about this whole idea. I used to do this. So let's type in Truss Callout. No, it's probably one word, but it's in here. It's in my paperwork, miscellaneous paperwork symbols, and there's a Truss Callout symbol. Okay, and what I did is this is a 2D symbol that has some text in there, and this text, maybe we should do another video for this, just basic how to do it. But if you're in a symbol, you can take the text, you can go to modify and link text to record, find the record that you want, find the field that you want, and it'll link it to it. And the record format, when we look at this real quick, just to double check we have the right one, it's called Truss Callout. So okay, here is that. So we're gonna edit this just to look at what we got here. There's a label field, which is just text. There's a trim field, which is text, and it has a default value with a feet or whatever that thing is called. We got a truss type, which is a pop-up window, which has different options. And then there's a weight one with an estimated per pounds, whatever. I made this real quick, and then the idea is that you would go to this truss and you're like, okay, you go to the data field and you type in, upstage LX or whatever. Trim height is 32 feet and the weight is approximately, 34.7 pounds. That was what I did until now. It worked great. It was better than annotations because, and then to change the truss type, you just go into the drop down and it'll automatically update over there. Very easy, very simple. But I wanted to see if we can get into data tags and how that would work. So just for this purpose, let's put in, let's do rivales, because why not? Alright, so we got a rivale here. Let's get another rivale. Great. Now I made this data tag. This is the V1. Where's my V2? Did I make it into V2? It's a good question. It's in my data tags workshops. Let me see what I called it. It's this thing here. Shape. Yeah, it's V1. Okay. So let's go into here. It's that. Let's do it this way. Go to my measurements, data tag, find it. I'll go here and we'll find truss tape callout, and then you just do all that apply. Boom. And I need to fix this, but scale text is off. That's what it was. Okay. Basically what this is doing is it's going into this truss and pulling information. So let's set the trim height to 14 feet and now we're good. So let's take a look at this data tag for a second so we see what's going on in here. And again, I need to fix this and I'll show you soon how to do that. So this is the fields that I want. I did put them in classes, so now it's AST Truss Callout tool, and you can turn off the color code, you can turn off the position name, you can turn off the position type, or the trim, or the weight, and you can pretty much just show the ones that you want. That was just a separate thing, but let's go into edit, tag layout, and just to see what we have here. So this is very simply just a, whatever they're called, rounded rectangle with a shadow, and it's in the class that I made called color code, and the text is the same thing as that, and it's called label color code as well. Now let's talk easier now. Let's do the trim height. I feel like that's the easiest part. So if we double click on that, it's going to give us this pop-up define tag field. This is just a label that will show you on here what that text is like a placement holder for. So this can be really anything. It can be short, it can be long. but that's just a placement. And then you go into parameters. You can either go to record format. I think object parameters for this is good. We want to go to truss item, and then you can type in anything. You type in the weight, distributed weight, basically any parameter that it will fill out, you can type in here. So we're going to do the trim. Okay, and very important, you have to make sure that you replace current definition, and it'll update it up here what it is. And okay, and now it'll, when you attach it to an item, to a truss, it'll automatically pull that field, which would be trim height, and it'll put it in there. Now it works backwards as well. So if you go to tag data, let's say I want a position name for this, so let's call this upstage LX2, whatever. Now if I go to my truss and you find the position name, it's going to fill that in as well. So it works kind of like a manual worksheet. Now for this, so I just started with this auto plot thing. It's kind of cool. So let's see, collecting total weights, great. Then it tells me 267.44 pounds. Okay. The other way to do it would be to say convert to hanging position. Yes. Let's call this, what do we say? LX, whatever. Let's just call it LX3 for now. Great. And then down here it'll give me the total hung weight, 267.44. I think Autoplot's just doing that in the back end, which I actually like that way. It'll give me a worksheet. I hate paying positions for whatever reason. Whatever the case is, now I have, that's a good question. Oh, I know what it was. So this data tag is built to be a truss item, not for hanging positions. So let's ungroup that, and then I'll delete that text, and let's ungroup this again. And now we have back to our regular truss and fixtures. Let's get that data tag one more time. Apply it. Great. And again, this I need to fix. But we are back. So, if I ungroup it, it takes my name off of that. Interesting. 4. And then for the weight, I put it, so not under total weight, because that's the truss itself. The only way to see the total hung weight is if it's a hanging position, which I want to avoid. So I put it into data and then rigging object info. See total hung weight, it's going to pull the info from here. So let's just put in, what do we say, 247.44, I believe. Okay, I need to modify that as well. Again, I made this real quick last night, so let's do this here. No, I want to modify the layout. Okay. This and this. Let's get it to 3. And okay. Make this a bit longer. Hope it's enough. Yeah, okay. Which I'll have to make longer either way, because if we get into the 1,000 pounds with a comma, it's going to have to be longer either way. But we'll get to that soon. Whatever the case is, if I take this and bring my weight, let me get rid of that, I can do it this way as well. So I don't have to go looking through the data tags and find out where it is. I can go to data tag, go to weight, boom. And now when I go to my truss and I find that it's gonna populate the same way it populated with my name.